Welcome to Work Hard, Play Hard. My name is Gio Martinez. I am the entrepreneur in residence for the Fortitude Fund. And today we're joined by a very special guest, Johnny Perez. He's the owner of Te Gusto Hospitality Group. He owns the hottest restaurants in town. He's got Mercadito, Mercado, Papi's, Spoken Ivy, Black Rabbit, and we are here today at his latest restaurant, which is Ducky's. And we've prepared a little hot style interview, hot ones, with some spicy wings. So, Johnny, tell me, how are you around spicy food?
I think I do okay, but these look a little scary to me now that they're in front of me. So
yes, I'm sure you'll do fine, and we'll get through this, and it'll be a really fun time. So, I wanted to start the interview with, this is the Fortitude Fund, so I wanted to hear if you remember receiving the Founders Grant, it's a $1,000 grant, back in 2019 when you were trying to open Mercadito. Can you talk a little bit about that if you remember?
Yeah, I remember seeing that program and I'm like, this can't be real. $1,000 just for starting your own business. And I went through the interview process. At the time was with Steve Franks, who's a really good local supporter of entrepreneurs. And you know, that $1,000 at that size that we were, it really meant a lot to us, you know what I mean? Between buying a used potato chip truck, doing a wrap, $1,000 can go a long way.
Yes.
At that stage, so.
Definitely. One question, one wing. You ready to dig into the first one? And I believe this is actually in the menu.
It's like dry rub.
Dry rub. Here we go. That tears off right off the bone. It's really delicious.
It needs a little salt, I think, but that was literally just straight spice right now, so I think it's already off to a good start.
How is it? Not spicy, a little too
Breathing
spicy?
in, I can already feel my cough a little bit, but that might just be because it's the dust, so.
Hey, we're at wing one. I'm sure that we are, we'll be okay for the rest.
I saw you reaching for the water already.
No, I'm gonna try to follow you.
All right, let's see.
So you started with Mercadito, and then at some point, you decided to go into one of the hottest, you might not known that it was gonna be one of the hottest developments in town, and open Mercado. Walk with me on that transition of how was it to go from a food truck, small kitchen, close quarters, into brand new kitchen and a brand new development. Walk me through what were you thinking? What sticks out from that experience?
I feel like it wasn't supposed to happen. You know, we had COVID going on at the same time. We had barely started a year into the food truck. You know, usually you don't want to start, you know, that quickly into a brick and mortar. Yeah. But we always knew we wanted to do brick and mortar. That's what I wanted to do before food truck. Yeah. But the food truck was going to be our, you know, transitional vehicle, but it ended up being the vehicle for everything we're doing now.
Yeah, you're still using the truck to do catering and
weddings, some company lunches.
Do you want to do a little plug? So Mercadito, where can they find it if they have a wedding?
MercaditoFW.com. You can book the food truck for weddings, for lunches, whatever you need. Do a lot more in private events versus back in the day we'd like park on a random spot, see what happens. But now I just want to make sure when we go somewhere, you know, we'll be there and service you well as you would in the restaurant. But
awesome.
Yeah. Mercado's definitely been kind of like the heart and soul of everything that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Probably the most personal brand, I think, for how it came together.
I'm already feeling like a little warm as we start the interview. I love it. Yeah. I am betting that jacket's gonna come off by around the last wing somewhere. So you went to school for culinary school, Johnson & Wales in Rhode Island. So tell me, obviously when people go to college, you have like this poor college meals that you make to get by. Like I remember tortilla, cheese, a hot dog, roll it up. That was like my cheap one. Yeah. Coming from a culinary school, are those cheap, college meals look a little fancier, or can you think about some that were kind of trashy like that?
Culinary schools are expensive for no reason, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we'd still have like our marucha soups, couple noodle soups, right? But when you did the cooking labs, you did get to eat what you made, right? So you got to have at least a semblance of a higher level.
Something good.
View, yeah. But a lot of times you're cooking your mistakes and eating your mistakes, so it kind of balanced out.
Does something jump out at you on like some mistake that you made that you were like, this is uneatable? Like something jumps out?
There's one dish, it wasn't at culinary school, it was at home. I just tried to make like this creamy chicken tinga that my wife always makes fun of me for. Just something didn't hit. Yeah. The texture, it almost looked like vomit really. So that one sticks out as one of my more recent failures, even though that was a few years ago.
Great. All right, ready for second wing?
Yeah.
All right.
What was this one on here? Just the buffalo?
The buffalo, just straight up buffalo. Good sauce.
I feel like the other one was spicier than this one,
Yeah, I agree.
but the flavor is really good.
I might finish that later. So
House fresh made
That's a good
buffalo, made with real butter.
made with real butter.
A lot of places use like fake hydrogenated oils or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's like real butter, just like the classic old-fashioned way. You can't mess it up.
So I just caught you saying something that I really appreciate from you. So you have a passion for knowing the reason behind how things work, right? From the pizza dough at Papi's and the fermentation schedule that you have and how it has to be a certain time to get it just right. But that strikes me as someone that is like kind of like a control freak mania kind of guy. But for what I hear, you were like pretty chill, laid back kind of person.
Depends on who you ask.
So how do you strike a balance between this needs to be the way it needs to be and the science and hitting it just right, and also, you know, being kind of laid back?
Yeah, I've always liked the technical aspects of stuff, but anything that we do in our mission now, whether it be an ingredient, what we make, how we talk to someone, we just start with the why, you know? I think it's a very simple technique, but yeah, from a chemical level, reaction level of the food, but also the chemical reaction of the emotions of how we treat staff members and how we challenge people. It's like, you gotta know why you're doing it, why you're asking this of someone, but I just kind of think it's our template for how we do anything, how we cook food or how we have a conversation.
Yes.
Starting with that.
So I heard you say in another interview, you have your founding philosophies for your restaurant group. Can you tell me the philosophy behind the restaurant group, what that is and what it means?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, one of the totems we talk about is like the matrix of high truth, high grace, and that for us is just kind of really makes it easier. It gets rid of all the fluff of the technicalities of a HR playbook, because a playbook for HR just seems like you're strategizing against your own staff, but really just begins with a conversation of, let me be graceful with you, but I need to tell you this, you're messing up right now, or hey, it doesn't seem like you're, you know, attached to the store as you once were. Is it something that we're doing or something that you're in a different season of life? And if you don't have those conversations or you're not graceful with it either, you can either be a really big jerk, but posing the question I don't think always has to have a negative connotation. And I just think once you get over that, it's more usually yourself that's hesitating, but someone wants to bubble over and let you know exactly what's on their mind. So I think that matrix of high truth, high grace has really helped us a lot, and it's really easy to teach.
And having that conversation before it needs to be had, right? Or like before it boils over into something bigger. No, that is great, and that then translates to what you do and how you serve the people in your restaurant groups, right?
Yep.
Awesome, that's great. So I have a list here of what I call Johnnyisms, right? So I've been scouting out and learning the Johnny talk, and I'm gonna hit you with a couple of them, and I want your reaction and what you think about them.
Yeah.
If I got them wrong, by all means, let me know.
Good, yeah.
But before that, let's go into the next wing. Yes. And this one is the honey chipotle. I got a big one for this one.
That one's my favorite one so far.
It has the sweetness. I didn't get hit by the spice though.
I think it has a little bit of mayo in there, so it's kind of like coating the spice.
The greasiness,
Yeah.
yes.
But I think it's the most flavorful one so far.
Good.
A little sweet.
I think the next one, I'm not looking forward to it. It has some, yeah.
It's on there.
Yeah. All right. So, Johnnyisms. Don't be cute, execute. Does that resonate?
Oh yeah, that one for me. Yeah, don't be trying to do all this fancy, fluffy stuff. Yeah. If you can, actually just execute on what actually matters. Whether it be drinks, food, or I don't know. I think the main thing is usually product. You see a lot of this fancy stuff on Instagram, and you go to the restaurant and like, it's a pretty drink, but the service sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Executing on that, they're very cute, but you know what I mean. Don't be cute, just execute.
I know the next one's right because you just talked about it, I'm sure. It's easy to manage product, it's harder to manage people.
I think it's easy. You can order something on an invoice. There's 80 recipes for buffalo sauce online. You know, that product I think is easy, being creative and whatnot, but you know, their people is obviously way harder.
Yeah.
Someone's seasonal, you know, mindsets, things like that.
Yeah.
It's slow, it's busy, you know what I mean? Then you got the DNA of 20 employees on one shift, different ages, you know what I mean? When you really think about it that way, you're in active movement with each other. And for you to have a bad day as a manager, it's hard. because you're a human being too, and everyone thinks like the manager versus employee.
Yeah.
But then my manager is my employee, so there's always this hierarchy of blame sometimes. And I think like that's where like, you know, managing people is really hard. It is.
Would you say then managing people is harder than managing the food, the toast? We were just talking about toast and how
Go to these bigger cities, and just because you're on a good street, you're a busy restaurant. The product's good, you get the transaction, they have good sauce, good this, but the product, people keep people inspired, especially an independent restaurant. You got less chances to mess up because we don't have this active tourism here that you get the seat filled every time. You got to reach out to your community and make sure you're taking care of them. And the community first is the people you work with. So
nice, love it. That's lovely. I got another one, and this has to do with a little bit of the transition that you've been having from Mercado to now opening 3 more restaurants after that. The difference between or going from working on the business, not in the business. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Probably the part I feel most self-conscious about, because it's always been about creative internally, you know, hey, Johnny's in the kitchen, Essie's up front, but at some point there's other people on your team that I think are inspired to feel compelled to rise to the occasion. And I think if I hold the spot as general manager, there's no space for anyone to think there's room for them because, you know, hey, that's the end. But if we keep, you know, growing and scaling to fit the needs of our staff members, then they assign themselves the responsibility, and they, you know, they want to be partners someday and things like that. And I think
Creates the space for them.
yeah. So then at the end of the day, then I have to work on the business for them, hiring, marketing for the stores to ensure we have business. That way they only have to worry about, you know, counting the drawers, you know, turning the lights on, and then we can help hearts with the people, right? Like, hey, I'm having trouble with this employee. I'm stuck at Ducky's. Well, no, I can go and meet with you and have a counseling session with you to make sure you're in the right headspace to approach those things. And I can't, as much as I want to be making a pasta on the line or something, I don't think I'm reaching the full potential of what the rest of the leadership team needs for me at that time.
Yeah, great. I got one more, and this is my personal favorite. There is someone with more average abilities than you that is already doing what you want to do.
Yeah, that one, I saw that on Facebook, I think during COVID, and I'm like, there is people with like, they just have the blind, I would say, like urge to do something, and they do it, and they have more mediocre abilities than you, and you're at home just thinking like, I could do better than that, look at this, like no one knows except for you, and you're suffering in silence, and
not doing it.
They're not doing it. Like, I already know, you know, with our brands, like, oh, I can make better tacos, and now like, if you have better, I want you to be in the market with us. You know what I mean? To promote, you know, like better quality of hospitality here. So when people think like there's so much competition, I think about that as like, if it was that easy, you could do it too, and I want you to, but don't get cynical because you're just in your room looking at all your ideas you've put together that you haven't acted on. You know what I mean? I do think I challenge people with that responsibility, because if it was about money and things like that, we had no money. You know what I mean? But the one thing that I'm always scared is about taking that risk. And I do think that's the secret sauce is going to be that risk. Like,
and I speaking about risk, I hear that you were not much of the risk taker, and that was more of the role that your wife played a little bit into pushing you to take those risks.
Yeah, my wife, Leslie, she's sitting over there watching this whole thing. She's definitely been a propeller in like me feeling free to try, and I think that's a key point. So
let's jump into the next wing before we move onwards. This one's gonna be the tough one.
Just so everybody knows, this has caramelized jalapenos on here, chili oil dust and everything. But if you
is it the same spice that the first one had? That was kind of
so it's a dry rub and it's a chili garlic rub. So if you want to make this good for the camera, bite into the jalapenos.
Oh, come on. I'll do it if you do it.
I'll do it too. All
right, let's go. All right. There it is.
Yeah. I think that one's gonna.
This one's hitting in the back of the throat.
Glowing right now.
And the spice is always on the seed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, but hey.
Thanks, Wally.
But hey, we're doing it. We're 4 in. We haven't had to resource to ice cream or milk yet. We haven't even touched the drink.
No, I'm kind of looking at my raspberry iced tea right now, and I want to drink it. I'm okay for now.
Hey, no shame on grabbing the water, you know? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I got a special game for you that I want to play with you. So I hear that you're a fan of burgers, and I'm gonna give you it one by one. And you have to place them on a scale from 1 to 10. But you know, if you take the one spot, then you might not be able to take, you know, when your actual favorite comes through. So we'll see how you place them. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Number 1, where would you place Whataburger?
10.
10.
Yeah.
All right. You don't even know what's
Easy,
coming.
yeah.
All right, all right.
10's the worst, right?
10's the worst.
cool.
Okay. Whataburger. All right. They're mostly chains, so just keep that in mind. Next one, Shake Shack.
Put it 9.
All right, I see where this is going.
I think you already put them in order for me.
Shake Shack. Would you have changed it if you knew?
No,
right,
those are all right.
All right. Five Guys.
8. You put like the.
All right. All right. We'll see.
That would be maybe lower than Shake Shack.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. In-N-Out.
1 maybe. Hold on, you said there's other.
In-N-Out.
Let's just put it at number 1. I think without knowing the rest. Let's leave
All right.
it there.
In-N-Out. In-N-Out. All right. What's about In-N-Out that you?
It's just nostalgic, I think, to some extent. I think it's fresh. You see people cutting fries there. They see everything nicely. It's simple. Can't hide behind too many ingredients.
Okay.
When it comes to burgers, I do like more of that purist approach.
Nice.
Simple. So.
All right. Cool. In-N-Out 1. We have all the space in the middle. So then we have, and this is where you're gonna cringe, I think. McDonald's.
I might as well use up my spots. Number 7 on that.
7. And I'm guessing you would have been smart to.
I think I like the McDonald's better than the other 3. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah,
all right.
Weird, but.
But you're saying it makes sense because it's a little more simple, not too over complex. Okay. All right. Except I won't say anything. Never mind. I'll give my thoughts to myself. Ducky's.
Ducky's for burgers. I mean, I gotta put them number 2 at this point in time. Because the In-N-Out has always been inspiration behind like our Pachola burgers, more of like it's a double smash burger, right? But it has a different element with that style bun. But our burger bun here is a little sweeter, and it reminds me more of like a American style bun that is a little sweet, a little squishy.
Okay. All right. Culver's.
Paul Williams, I know you're watching this, but I'm gonna put number 6. Paul Williams cuts my hair. He's at Keep Time. He loves it. He had his own Instagram about how much he loves Culver's. So I don't think he's been here yet, but he told me he was gonna start coming here instead.
All right. All right. I'll tag him along into his post so he sees it. Burger King. You use that. You use that.
Scared of what's left. Let's do number 5 then, because Whopper Wednesday helped me stay alive when I was a kid.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So there's some nostalgia to that
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
They're big too
The only
compared
time
to.
we can afford to have a Whopper was Whopper Wednesday.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Carl Jr. or Hardee's, depending. I guess you know him by both because you've lived in both coasts.
I guess honestly, I don't know who's left, so I'm gonna give them number 4.
Okay.
I do what I liked about them is that they do sell that heavier, like grilled, charbroiled flavor. to it, I think.
Yes.
And that is not normal in a fast food burger, so
Okay.
can at least give them that positive note.
All right. All right. And last we have Spoken Ivy.
Hey, that's good. I
Yes.
think that's perfect.
That's good.
They have a bigger patty, which is good when I'm feeling like I want to splurge.
Yeah.
Definitely more of that meaty, steaky patty.
Yeah.
I think Spoken Ivy has that.
Okay.
Lux mayo, kind of, sort of A1-ish in a flavor in a way, but I think I'm happy with the list, honestly.
All right. I thought he was gonna fall into the trap of, putting some of these above, but it's pretty decent. In-N-Out being your favorite burger of all time, right?
Yeah.
And then the ones that you have on your restaurants.
Yep.
All right.
And if anyone has anything to say about the bottom ones, please leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to
respond.
debate, yeah.
Love it. What? Let's get into it. What is it about Whataburger?
I had it because I knew everyone says no.
Is it the hype that you were?
I mean, people say the same thing about In-N-Out. It's like it's not all that, but Whataburger tasted like steam meat in between 2 buns, and I'm like, it didn't taste that great, so
Okay.
no good.
All right. Fair. All right. Let's jump into the next wing. We have the Wailing Johnny. So are we gonna see you wail on this one?
No, well, hold on. This is the mango.
You're right. Mango habanero. Habanero is tough.
So now you scared me about the next one. All right, so this has like some diced either jalapeno or serrano on here, I believe. Is that right, Wally? All right.
Serrano stuff. All right. Cheers. Oh, that's right away.
My My lips.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one is, yeah, that's up there.
Actually, keep ramping up.
And that's the green, right? Like that's the.
I was surprised I didn't. It's like, I feel like my tongue's gonna fall off. That was good. It had good flavor though, but
it keeps building up.
Yeah, he did a good job. Actually, is ramping it up, but it has good flavor though, which is good.
I'm starting to feel a little bit of sweat. Like, hey, jacket's still on.
Jacket's still on. We might make it to the last.
We might make it. Oh wow! The more I breathe, the more I'm feeling that.
You want to get a drink?
No. I'm following your lead, Johnny. Please.
All right, I'll wait. Even though I love raspberry iced tea, I'll skip it for now.
All right. So, one of your latest restaurants is Spoken Ivy. Ivy being one of your daughters, right? Like your daughter's name is Ivy. How does your son feel about her having a restaurant named after her and he doesn't?
He has a pizza named after him at Poppy's Pizza, the Levi's Luau Pizza, but he hasn't had a restaurant named after him yet.
Well, you know, Levi, what would you rather have? Like a restaurant or a pizza, you know? Like you, from a very young age, you've known that you wanted to do this. I've heard stories of you, middle school, high school, growing up, logos of El Ancho restaurant named after Chile Ancho. If you go back and think about little Johnny, what would he think about you today, right now, with all that you've accomplished?
I think he's a crazy guy, just taking all this debt liability, but...
Well, he wouldn't understand debt and liability, right?
No, I think it'd be something to reflect on, like, you know, to kind of see it translate to, you know, what, to go from sketchbook to what we're doing now. Is like, we always thought we'd have maybe one restaurant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to do what we're doing now, kind of become bigger. We're like, hey, now we have a family of people that are doing it with us. And I think he'd be hopefully proud of that part, where it's just not like those days of like Gordon Ramsay or like Anthony Bourdain, where you're literally working 150 hours a week just to, you know, barely make it by. Like, we're trying to create sustainability in the workforce and stuff like that, but I think he'd be proud of that.
I think little Johnny would be very proud as well. I would agree with that too. You mentioned family, and given that you are a chef yourself, who is the best cook out of the 8 siblings? Who is the best cook in your opinion? I have the inside scoop on who it is. I know the answer.
Who did you talk to?
I just, you know, I can't reveal my sources, but
the best cook in the family? Yeah. That's of my siblings?
Of the whole family, mom and dad included.
I feel like
I should have made you rank them.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I have to go between my mom and my dad, I guess. Both different styles of cooking for the most part, but nothing against my dad. I'm gonna vote for my mom because she's definitely, you know, living with her here in Fort Wayne, cooked a lot of our dishes that we think of as like our, you know, homey dishes. Carne con chile, pozole, stuff like that. So I'm gonna say my mom, she never lacked seasoning in her food at all. It's always been really good. So I think, my mom, Rosie, so.
Any dishes inspired by her cooking, or?
We've done a lot actually that have been flips on it. You know, we've done different, like a shrimp dish and whatnot. I'm trying to think if we have anything on the menu right now that is more Rosie related, but I can't, unless there's one I'm missing. But a lot of dishes that we've featured throughout the years have been something that definitely come from childhood.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Fantastic. We're reaching the end here.
Yeah.
We're about to jump into the spiciest wing. Are you ready?
I hope. Let's see.
Let's do it. And this is the Wailing Johnny.
Gosh, look at this.
It's thick. He laid it on thick.
All right.
All right. Ready? Cheers.
Cheers.
I definitely got that in my lip all the way.
Super tangy. This one, yeah. I keep thinking it's not gonna hit, and then it hits me.
Ooh.
I think
it's like smoky almost too, a little bit, or?
A little smoky, just tangy, limey. It has habanero. I think it's everything combined, I think, is what he did.
I feel a little drunk on this one.
Hell yeah, I feel like my body's glowing.
Like you were, yes, totally. What is it about What a Wonderful World that makes it your go-to karaoke song?
I just think it's unexpected, I guess. You know, just doing like the voice and whatnot. I feel like I'm. The thing is, like, I feel like I'm kind of playful, like, you know, and sarcastic. But when it comes to like the random, rare times to do karaoke throughout the year, it's one of those times just to let go and just sing that song out. You know, What a Wonderful World. It's a positive song.
Yeah.
You know, right after my brother sings Hotel Room Service or whatever, we can sing something that just brings the room together at the end of the night.
Yeah. This is getting worse by the second. The more you speak, do you feel it a little?
Oh yeah, the tip of my tongue.
So, speaking about music and singing, how good of a singer are you?
I don't think I'm a good singer, but I can like memeify a song, right? Like just like make it random like that. But
with your tongue on fire, and knowing that your family is from Guadalajara, Guadalajara, the birthplace of mariachi. Could you give me your best mariachi yell impression?
I have a guest in the building over here. I don't know. I want to scare her over there.
Guess that she's good.
All right, I need to take another bite.
You're going for it? I'm going for it.
Maybe we do it together.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Like, okay. Oh my gosh.
Maybe I can't do it anymore. I'm handicapped now. You ready?
I'm not. Are you sure you don't want any water?
I'm gonna do it after my grito, I guess.
All right, he's killing me. Ready?
Are you ready?
Oh, I love it. Awesome job.
Finished watching the Coco movie now.
I think everybody heard us and like the whole block.
Pearl, yeah.
I love it. Lastly, I have.
You doing okay? Yeah, I'm good.
We have some deep cut back in the day Johnny YouTube videos from 12 to 15 years ago.
Dang, that's sad.
Does the scooter video ring a bell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have scrubbed that off the internet, but I didn't.
No, we have really good sources. We've got that video. We got the video for the sports drink commercial that you did in high school, I believe. We have the video of you making
egg rolls.
Egg rolls.
Wait, what's the sports drink one? What was that one?
I'll show them to you after this.
Yeah.
If we get, and with your permission, if we get to 1,000 reactions on this video, we're gonna post all these 3 videos for you to enjoy.
Right.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Is it gonna be
the engagement? Yes.
Is it gonna be worth it for you?
The scooter video, I think for sure. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. So, Johnny, congratulations. We made it all the way through this mount of spice, and on the end, we only have one camera. So that camera, that camera, that camera.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what's going on in your life and what's the latest.
Well, we're just getting started here at Ducky, so please come support us here. It's gonna be a fun summer, I hope. Spoken Ivy has great brunch. Mercado will always be a fun place on the landing. Late night pizza over at Poppy's on the weekends, but right now we're in a state of nurturement and growing our team, and we hope that you give us grace when we're learning and messing out, but we appreciate everyone that supported us so far since the food truck. It's crazy, and these wings are spicy.
Come try the Wailing Johnny, available at...
It's technically random, like he just made it up today, so...
We might put Wailing Johnny in the menu, we don't know.
If you come in and you just want to get your insides up on fire, let us know, we'll make sure to hook it up, so...
All right, thanks for watching.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you.